Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mary Love, and welcome to Country Living. Welcome to my kitchen. My husband told me today when I took him his wallet and some lunch that he wanted like some beef vegetable soup or something, vegetable soup for dinner. I didn't want that. So I'm going to make me a chicken quesadilla. I got my chicken on boiling now. I'm boiling 2 chicken breasts. I'll shred that after it's done with my hand mixer, and that'll make plenty of chicken for me. Way more than what I'll eat. My oven is preheated. I decided I wanted a homemade cherry cobbler. So I'm going to use cherries that I canned myself a couple of years back. Um, I'm going to put these in a saucepan and add a little bit of sugar to them and kind of sweeten them up. And then I'll make a little cornstarch slurry and kind of thicken them up a little bit, kind of like pie filling. And then I got half a cup of self-rising flour, a half a cup of sugar, a half a cup of milk, because I'm just making a small one. This dish is probably a 5x7, 5x8 dish. I'm going to put this in the oven, let this butter get melted. That's going to take just a minute, so I'm going to grab a bowl. Well, no, actually, we're going to open these cherries and get them in this pan. We'll put them in this pan. Ooh, them smell good. And we're going to put these on the stove. Heat them up. I'm going to grab some cornstarch and make a little bit of a slurry, and then we'll be right back. So let me grab some cornstarch. To make this cornstarch slurry, I'm going to put, not a heaping teaspoon and maybe just a hair more of cornstarch in this little jar. That lid won't fit that jar. Now I'm going to add some water to it. Now we're going to shake it up. Shake it good so that way it's all mixed up. You won't have any clumps of cornstarch in there. All right, there's the slurry. So now we're going to come over here to the stove. Let me bring y'all with me. Whoop! Try not to jostle you too much. You turn the light on. I don't think it's going to help a whole lot. Turn this burner on about medium high. We're going to let these cherries come to a boil. Let me check this pan or glass dish. Not quite melted yet. Need a little bit of sugar. Not quite 1/4 of a cup. I'm going to sweeten these cherries up just a little bit. And I didn't use all of that, so. This is going to bake in a 350-degree oven until done. It might take 35, 40 minutes, maybe a little longer. Might take 50, 55 minutes. I'm not exactly sure. I'll put it on 50, and then I'll start checking it at about 30, 35 minutes. Because with the cobbler, you want that crust golden brown. We'll let this come to a boil, and then we'll add the cornstarch. And that will thicken it up quick. Whew, I got tea back here steeping. I ran out of iced tea. That ought to be against the law. Okay, they say a watch pot never boils. I think there might be some truth to that. Y'all's probably saying, well, Mary, you just put it on the stove. And I did. You're right. You're right. We just have to wait. As soon as this comes to a boil, I'll be right back. All right, it's starting to boil just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and pour in some of this cornstarch slurry. Start out with just a little bit because we don't want it real super thick, but we don't want it soupy like water. Just a little bit more, I think. Not much. I think that right there ought to be a plenty. All right, that right there's perfect. And you can see, well, I hope you can see that. It's not real thick, but it's not real thin. All right, we're going to turn that off. Now we're going to come over here. Now we're going to mix up half a cup of self-rising flour, half a cup of sugar. Give that a little bit of a mix. And a half a cup of milk. Mix this up real good. Try to get all the lumps out of it. And we're going to pour this in the bowl, pan, or dish on top of that melted butter. All right. Pour this in here. Now we're going to grab the fruit, grab the cherries. We're going to pour them on top of that. And we're not going to stir this. You will be tempted to stir it, but don't do that. Now, I'm going to sprinkle just a smidgen of sugar. Oops, sorry about that. On top. Ooh, this smells good. All right, this is going to go in the oven. We're going to set the timer for 55 minutes. I will start checking it at about 30, 35, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to put this in the oven and I'll be right back. Well, my chicken is done, so I'm going to take it out of this pot. It's going to have to cool off a minute before I can shred it. But it won't take it long. And my cobbler did get done. It took about 50 minutes. And there's what it looks like. So we're going to give this a taste. Because I think this is going to be delicious, y'all. Woo. Woo. About twisted Jen's too far there. So there's what it looks like. Doesn't that look good? Yes, ma'am. That's delicious. That is delicious. It's not overbearingly sweet because I didn't use a whole lot of sugar. But that, yeah. If you haven't never made a homemade cherry cobbler, you really should give it a try. It's very simple. A can of cherry pie filling. If you're making a regular size cobbler for, say, more than 2 people, you probably want 2 cans of cherry pie filling. You would use a cup of sugar, a cup of self-rising flour, and a cup of milk, and 1/4 of a cup of butter. You heat your oven to 350 degrees. Put your butter in your baking dish. When your oven heats, put that dish in the oven and let that butter melt while you're mixing up your flour, sugar, and milk. You take that out of the oven, pour your batter over that melted butter, and then pour your cherry pie filling over it. Pop it back in the oven for about 50 minutes is what this took. And less than an hour, you've got a homemade dessert that's delicious. I wish y'all was here to taste this. Yes, ma'am. That'll work. That'll cure what ails you. But I'm going to let my chicken cool off, and then I'm going to shred that, and then I'm going to make me some chicken quesadillas. All I'm putting on mine is just shredded chicken and cheese on a tortilla shell. Flip it over where it's folded in half, brown it on both sides, and it's done. So we'll be back here in just a little bit, and we'll do that. Now, if you've never shredded chicken with the hand mixer, this is the easiest way to do it, and it's going to get a little loud for just a minute. There you go, shredded chicken. Can't get no easier than that. And it makes a bunch too. So now I'm going to get my flour tortillas, I'm going to get my grill heated up, and I'll be right back. All right, I got my tortilla shell on the stove. I'm going to put some cheese on there. I'm using Colby Jack because that's what I had open. get my chicken. We're going to spread some chicken out on this. Put a little bit of salt on that chicken. Grab a spatula. And we're going to flip this over. And let that cheese melt. And we're going to do one more. That one right there. And this cheese would probably melt better if it was at room temperature, but it's not, so, but it'll be all right. And then what I don't use of this chicken, I'll put in some freezer bags and put in the freezer. That way I'll have it for a later time. Now, if you want them browner, if you'll spray them with a little bit of cooking spray, they'll brown up real nice. The only cooking spray I have is a butter flavored cooking spray, and I don't like the way it smells. Now I'm going to get my tea mixed up. All right, it's got that mixed up. And these right here ought to be ready to go. I'm going to grab me some ice and I'll be right back. All right, now we're going to cut this into triangles. Whew. And that is hot. Now we'll get this other one. And we're going to do it the same way. I didn't cut that one quite as big. Whoop. I think I should have put cheese on both sides. It would have stuck better. Let me turn around here. Find me a little bowl for some ranch dressing. I love ranch dressing. And there's my dinner. Chicken quesadillas. I think this side probably look better. So let's back up over here and let's give these things a try. I guess I could have got a picture of the cobbler in with these. Yep. That's really good. Now you can add other flavorings to your chicken if you want to. You got to make this dish your own and add whatever you like. If I'd have had some barbecue sauce, I would have mixed some barbecue sauce and a little bit of mayonnaise together to dip these in, but I didn't have any barbecue sauce in the refrigerator. That's really good. It's quick. It's easy. It will more than fill me up. And like I said, I got plenty of chicken left just out of 2 breasts. Oh. I got all that chicken left out of 2 breasts from using my hand mixer to shred it. There's my video for tonight. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. I want to get to 600 and I get on my way and boom, I've lost subscribers. I don't know if YouTube don't want me to make it to 1,000 or what, but anyhow, if you're new, thank you so much for joining. It really does mean a lot to me. If this is your first time watching one of my videos and you haven't yet subscribed, I sincerely hope by the end of this video you will do so. I don't live in a fancy home. I don't have a big fancy kitchen. I make simple food, simple recipes, because that's the way I like it. The easier it is to make, the better I like it. Because generally, if it's easy to make, it didn't cost you a whole lot to make it. But with that, chicken quesadillas and homemade blackberry cobbler, pennies on the dollar. But with that, I will say good night, God bless, and until we meet here again, remember, if you haven't yet subscribed, I sincerely hope that you will do so. But y'all have a blessed evening.